Okay, this is real life. Good morning, chat. I woke up on time today, which is big. No, we're only 10 minutes late. Yeah, hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in. We're just chilling right now. Big. It was a good break. When was the last stream? Like Thursday? Oh, we didn't stream Thursday, did we? Yeah, last stream was like last Tuesday. But we're back, we're back. We had a good break. Welcome in, welcome in. We're big chilling right now. Hacking is good, chat's on screen. Yeah, this is my very quickly thrown together just chatting setup. I threw a background. I just grabbed the background from the from a different screen and just made it the whole background. But we're chilling right now. Big chilling. I'll get into yapping about Colin in a minute. You guys have breakfast yet? I'm not. I'm not a breakfast guy. I'm usually more of a more of a eat lunch and then dinner kind of guy. Why is it as soon as I hit start stream that YouTube Studio decides to break? So it's okay though, because we're big chilling. Nothing can go wrong today. So we're just gonna hide that for a second and fix it. I disappeared, I'll be back, I promise. Just gotta get the... Okay, cool, it's looking at me again, we're good. Perfect, it's okay. Back to where you go, and me back. Wait, no, I need... Cool. And of course, the minute I do that, it freezes again. We'll just have to deal with it. It's fine. You know, I'm usually a skip breakfast, eat like a bigger lunch type of person than a eat breakfast type of guy. New guy just dropped. Fuck, it made me think of the new guy just dropped meme. It's like, oh, new breakfast, no breakfast guy. Maybe it's because this keeps moving. Yeah, that fixed it. Nice. Do you guys have anything fun happen? Over the week, over the weekend? Because I went to a convention, which was awesome. I've been to the convention before. It's... I guess it's not local. It's like my state's convention. The big one that happens in the state, you know? And we're close enough to it that we just drive over. It was like an hour drive. It's not bad. Rather than spend like... Because we had a big group this year. Our like whole friend group went, which is very cool. But usually we have... I guess we could have done like a... Because there's two ways to go. There's two ways to go to this convention from where we are. It's we can either do the hour drive over in like 3 cars, or 2 cars. We could do 2 cars this year. Or we all, you know, pitch in for one hotel room and then sardine for 2 nights. But like even then it was way cheaper to just drive over, I think. Even with parking. Parking I think it was like 25. So if we had different people drive each day, it was like 25 per driver. And of course everyone chipped in. Okay, it's gonna bother me if I don't fix it. It's gonna bother me if I don't fix it. Let me shrink chops. We're gonna fix it again. Today is a very chill day. Probably won't be a long stream either. Most people come in and want to like ask questions. I do have the AMA tag for a reason. But yeah, we just drove over. It was like an hour. Because like everyone in... all three of my roommates went, so we just left as like a unit. And then we picked up a couple friends and drove over Friday morning. Because I think opening ceremony was at like noon. Vendor's room opened at like 2 p.m. So we had time to kill. Or no, it opened at 2 or 3. It was 3 days ago and I already forgot. It's crazy. So we go pick up our friends. And then we're like, we're gonna be there all day and convention food is ridiculously overpriced. So let's go to McDonald's and get breakfast. So we go and all 6 of us order McDonald's breakfast. We get our food and we head out. Very fun. No, it was a really funny experience at this McDonald's though. Because their receipt machine was just giving blank receipts, so we kind of just had to figure out what your order was when they would bring it home. Very fun experience. Yeah, we get down there finally at like... we ate McDonald's breakfast, and then we left right after they stopped serving breakfast, like 10:30. We get out of the McDonald's. We get there at like... we were like 11:45-ish. 11:30, 11:45. And the reason we leave so early is because the last like 2 years we've gone, parking has been like an absolute nightmare. And like, it's not the end of the world. It just takes forever to find an open lot. Like the first year we went, we didn't even find an open lot. We had to park like semi-illegally in some mud. Like, we weren't alone in this. We weren't the only car parked in the mud, right? If we were, we wouldn't have done it. But like, I just remember because it rained while we were at the con. And so we walked back and then we stepped like in the deepest mud I've ever stepped in to get in my friend's car. I felt so bad. And then last year parking wasn't that bad. We eventually did find lots. But we had to go to like 2 or 3. This year we went to one lot. It was open both days. It was crazy. I guess they either expanded or like just opened up more lots this year or something. But parking was way better. But we get parked. We head in and it's like, well, we don't have anything to do until like... what did we have to do? Right, there was... I tweeted about this. There's a Beyblade panel. And I think it was at like... noon? 12:30? I think it was at 12:30. So we were like, we don't have anything to do until 12:30. Let's go to tabletop gaming. Right, because there's nothing... because it's before Vendor's Room open, so there's like... you can go to... video gaming wasn't open either, so it was like you can go to... I don't know, man. You can go walk around. Like, okay, tabletop gaming opens at noon, so we can chill there for 30 minutes and then head to the Beyblade panel that we wanted to see. So, but we go to tabletop gaming, and I don't think a single panel opened on time at this convention, which is insane. Like, they didn't let us, they didn't open tabletop gaming until after they had, like, they had us lining up. They lined us up like 6 different times in like 3 different ways. Because at first we were just like a big queue, then they lined us up semi-orderly. They called my friend an NPC, which was very funny. Like, the staff member was like, yeah, okay, so you're the NPC at the end of the line. Which is a little mean. But eventually, my friend and I, who were like, my friend who really wanted to go to the Beyblade panel because it sounded funny. And I was like, yes, it does sound a little funny, so I'll go too. So we head to that. And the Beyblade panel is kind of fun, actually. It starts off kind of weak. You know, kind of not very used to speaking in front of people. And he definitely could have invested in like a PowerPoint or like any sort of presentation software, because it was just every time he showed us a clip or something, you could see his like whole desktop background and like the folder full of the the MP4 files. But it was good. It was good. It picked up in the second half after after he talked about how like Beyblades parted the Red Sea, which is insane. That's real, by the way. It's in the show. Where's there it is. So he basically just talks about the different types of Beyblades and then like how dumb the fucking like power system is. It was like, yeah, the Beyblades have been around for generations. They've parted the Red Sea, and then it's like then it shows the clip of the guy like parting the Red Sea with a Beyblade. It's insane. And then in the second half is when it picks up, because he's like, yeah, we actually have like a Beyblade YouTuber here. And it's like, whoa, that's insane. I didn't know those existed, but that's cool. And also number 5 Beyblader in the country, which is, I didn't even know we had a ranking. And the YouTuber and the Beyblader, like, you know, duel or whatever. I don't remember most of the rules. They, they have a little bout. Number 5 in the country also obviously wins. You'd be dumb for thinking that the YouTuber would win. Definitely not what I did. And at this point, the rest of our friends have shown up because tabletop gaming never opened. So we're all just sitting there, like, unironically. We're giving this, like, little, like, exhibition Beyblade match the same, like, level of hype as, like, a Street Fighter tournament. Which is really fun. And then the presenter was like, actually, me and number 5, we got beef. And so, and so he challenges him and then gets like washed out, but he works the crowd really well with it. It was fun. I still know nothing about Beyblade and probably won't do it, but it was fun. I have a friend who's very loud. Like she'll like yell out and stuff. And so, when one of the Beyblade, I don't remember if it was the YouTuber or not, he pulled out a left spinning Beyblade and I just leaned over to him and said, he's a Dark Blader. Just, just pulling terms out of my ass. Making shit up. And she just yells out, he's a Dark Blader! And I'm like, that's not, I just made that up. That came off the dome. Because most Beyblades spin to the right, but like left is... He talked about how like, there's like 3 that spin to the left and they're all like strong or whatever. But it was very funny. Also, one of our friends, I guess acquaintances, friends of like a friend, he was there, he's like, yeah, I bought a Beyblade just right now. It was good though, it was good. Fun Beyblade panel. After that, we were like, I think video games is open. We were like, we could either go to video games or we could just go chill for like 10 minutes. There was like 15 minutes waiting in line for vendor's room to open. So we just went ahead and got in line for vendor's room. And then two of my roommates went and played cornhole. It was fine. I remember they went off to play cornhole because they had just like a little like free game, play whatever you want set up. And my two roommates went to play cornhole, and that same friend who was really loud that yelled, that same friend who was like, the same friend who yelled at Dark Blader, looked at me and was like, they're playing cornhole wrong. Because we had it in our mind that when you play cornhole, you face against each other, so you can like throw at each other. And so we were like, they're playing wrong. Which they weren't, actually, it turns out. My roommate just knew a different way to play where you like stand on the same side and throw. So while we're spending like 20 minutes queuing, we're just watching them play cornhole from like 20 feet away. Assuming that they're playing wrong and, you know, laughing about it, but they were right. Yeah. Finally, vendor's room opens. And the way vendor's room is set up is that we can like snake through it, right? So you go like down one aisle, turn, down the next aisle, turn. So we've got the shit down to a science at this point. Or at least I thought we did, and then people just started kind of like... and then our group immediately fell apart. Because we were like, oh, we're gonna stay together, guys, don't worry. Let me fix my model again. I'm gonna scream. This model never stays like... Hello, Dar Docs, thank you. Okay, if it breaks again, then it'll just stay broken. So we start snaking around vendor's room. Our group immediately falls apart because, like, while we did try to stay together for most of it, we also just have each other's phone numbers. So worst case, we'd be like, hey, where you at? But we start snaking around vendor's room. We fall apart. I get separated from the group because I'm just like, I know where I'm going. Because immediately, as soon as we walk in, we see like foam weapons. Like the fucking like cheap foam. They're like $40 foam weapons. And immediately we stop and we fucking this one guy and I see Gay Bolg from Fate. And we're like, wait, is that... Because at first we don't recognize it. We're like, what is that spear? Is that Gay Bolg? And so immediately this one guy and I, just as soon as we walk in, find Gay Bolg. Immediately. But while we're buying Gay Bolg, the rest of the group decides we're going to go on our own, actually. We're going to go on our own adventure. And we get separated. So we start snaking around, or at least I start snaking around. Just looking at things. Doing a little precursory once over, see if there's anything that's like, oh, this is an instant buy type stuff. It broke again. I'm gonna scream, bro. And now it's fixed. Awesome. Just see like, well, what's an instant buy? We'll just keep him on screen. There we go. Well, I'm sneaking around. Eventually... And I see a couple things that are like kind of cool. Might come back to it because we have two guaranteed days there, 3 at max if there's anything interesting Sunday. So it's like we'll do a once over, see if there's any like instant buys. I go around, I see a couple things, and eventually, and the reason we're also doing a once over is because we're doing a little. We decided to have a little like secret Santa type thing where we would pull names from a hat and you get a gift for like that person, right? And we maxed it out to like 35, so it wasn't like a big gift because we're all broke, but Oh, my options, go away. They'll go away on their own, I think. Probably. If not, I'll have to hide. So really, we're just going out scouting for, we're scouting for the Secret Santa thing, which we're not doing until Saturday. Why? I actually hate this webcam. Or I don't hate it, I just don't like how it's placed. Maybe I should move it. This will have to do that. So we're scouting out for the Secret Santa as well. Because one of our friends decided that, what if instead of just getting each other good gifts and having a good time, you had the option to get them a bad gift? Or like once your name gets pulled, they can ask you like, hey, do you want a good or a bad gift? And it's like, brother, we're at an anime convention. Like, I'm just gonna go buy you porn, and that's your bad gift. You underestimate how much like a bad gift could be. And also like a bad gift is like, if you get something that you think is a bad gift and they're like, oh, I love it, this is great, you learn a lot about that person. So I'm very against bad gift. But if I get someone who wants a bad gift, I will comply, you know? So I'm doing my scouting. And eventually a friend catches up, good friend. The same one who same one who yelled out Dark Plater earlier. And we're going around, and something to know about me is I have a visual impairment. I can't see very well, but I also want to look at, like, for certain figures of, like, you know, characters I like. So this friend is like, don't worry, I'll look for you. And this works out. We go around to a few figure stands. I buy a couple swords, which I'll show you. We go around to a couple figure stands. And like the most awkward interaction I've ever had with like a pawn clerk happens. And it's entirely my fault. This is no fault of my friend. So we're going around, and we get to this one stall, and she can't really tell if they have any of the, you know, characters I like. And so she just straight up asks, she's like, excuse me. And this is before I can do anything, because I was going to ask. Because, you know, it's for me, so if I ask and they don't have it, then it's like, at least I can build the rapport, right? But before I can react and go, excuse me. Oh, cool. You know, hit the excuse me. She's like, it's like, excuse me, do you have any Saber figures? And I'm like, oh no. I was gonna take the fall for this one, right? This was my cross to bear. And it's like the sweetest, like, older lady working the store too, and she's just like, Saber? I don't know. And so she goes around and she's like, let me see if we got any Sabers. And then she like picks up a bunch of figures, and she's like, we've got, this one says Saber. And I'm like, oh no, like, that's cool. This one's Nero. And then I did, because like, I've been no pickles, right? I've been like, oh, it's the same situation with, excuse me, he asked for no pickles. And like, so I feel weird saying anything at this point, because I don't want to correct her and be like, no, it's okay, it's okay. Or like, I can't really see that, could you bring it here? Because then it's like, it's a very awkward situation. Eventually, I think I did buy something from them though. Maybe like later in the day. But we go around, we pick up a couple small things. What did we stay so late for on Friday? Because we stayed pretty late Friday, and I don't remember why. Oh, that's why. Okay, so... so on Friday, after we buy stuff, we go to the video game room. We kind of just chill. They play Smash for a little bit. Because we vendors room for a while. I think we go and watch wrestling Oh, I know why. So, our friend gets off work at like 3 p.m. and she messages the chat. She's like, yo, me and our other friend, we're on the way. And so we're chilling waiting for them. Some of the group gets like fucked up and evil super overpriced con food because it's what they have. I think like the shittiest hamburger you've ever had and fries is like $10. And if you get a drink, it's 15, which is insane. Which is why we just brought water bottles, but eventually we're watching like a wrestling match, and eventually one of the two people that I thought we were coming together, but I guess they ended up just like, because one friend was coming from out of town, the other one was just had work until like 3 before she could head out, and I thought they were gonna meet up because he was staying the night over at our place. I thought they were gonna meet up and then just drive up together, but eventually it turned out he just drove on his own. But eventually, that friend arrives and we're like, shit, I'll go back to the vendor's room, why not? I'm not a wrestling guy. It's kind of, I just don't get it. Not for me, you know? So I'm just like, I'll go to the vendor's room, sure, let's go to the vendor's room. So like 3 of us split off to go vendors again. Eventually the fourth friend finally arrives, or the extra friend finally arrives, so we have everyone there. And guys, let me tell you, I don't mean anything malicious by this when I talk about it. I have openly stated before, I'm not a big fan of anime fans. I like anime, it's fun. Not an anime fan guy. But when I say that it smelled really bad in the vendor's room, like how hard is it to buy a stick of deodorant? Like, it can't be. It smelled so bad. Like, it's 2025. We've been clowning on people for not wearing deodorant for 20 years. How have they not learned? But I digress. So we go around. And eventually we see this place. And I've been there before, but like my 2 friends. For like 3 people in our group, it was like their first time at a convention. And so we just show them all the cool things we usually find. But this one's not a cool thing we usually find. It's actually like the opposite, but it's very funny. Yeah, we're yapping today. Talking about a convention I went to. Oh no, that's not what I want. There's my OBS. Nice. So it's a couple of friends like first time at a convention, so we want them to have like a good time. You know, don't want them to like apart from the things that we can't control, like the smell of anime fans, we're like, we gotta have them at least have fun. Show them all the cool things you can do. So we take them around vendor's room. And this is a not cool thing you can do. We see this place very obviously labeled very differently from every other store. Because it's like, we have the secret porn room. And it's like, why are they like this? But of course we're like, oh yeah, let's fucking go to the secret porn room, that's funny. So we get in line, and we're reading like the sign that's talking about it, and some guy just comes up to us like, we're like laughing at it because it's named something stupid. I called it the Goon Cave. We called it the Goon Cave, I don't remember the actual name. Some guy comes up to us like, just while we're standing there, like obviously in line to enter the Goon Cave because it's funny. And it's just like, you guys reading the sign? It's really funny, right? It's like, dude. It's just... Anime fans are very grating sometimes. Either way, we go in the Goon Cave. It's very weird. But we leave. And then we chill out. I think we go to another panel. For that... No, we chill in video games, and then it's time for Death Battle. Because Death Battle was at this con. And the Death Battle panel was actually kind of fun. Well, it was fun for like half of it. Because they just talk about like, oh, we're no longer owned by Rooster Teeth, very cool. He does the... They got Wiz and Boomstick there, so he hits him with the he's pissing on Boost. He's pissing on Bootlick, and this time for a death battle or whatever they say. We've been making that joke the whole day too. Cause we were talking in like I think the kitchen. We were like, yo, death battle's gonna be there, and then my roommate's like, oh yeah, Piss and Bootlick, I know them. It's like that's not their names, but it's very funny. So we spent like the whole weekend going, he's pissing on Bootlick. Just to each other, which was very fun. But we go to the Death Battle panel. It's very cool. Because the guy who voices... I did not expect fucking Boomstick's voice to come out of the guy who voices Boomstick. Of all people. But they do a little... And they're just kind of like talking about like behind the scenes stuff, production, like how some of them were like terrible to make and how some were really nice. They're like fun matchups. And then they opened the floor to questions, and then like and they spent 20 minutes talking about like how researching is very important and how they can't just answer like they can't just be like, yeah, this guy wins in a death battle. They can't just be like, yeah, these two people, this guy wins just normally. Like sometimes they can because normal feats, but sometimes there's like we have to do research because they're very similar. And then they immediately open it to questions, and every question is, who would win in a death battle, this guy or this guy? And they're like, we just told you about how we can't just do that. And it's also, they have two panels. Today, the first one is Death Battle, which is they just talk about the show. And then the second one, the next day, is Death Battles, where they actually do that. And it's like, hey, could you just save that for tomorrow? And it's like, yeah, sure. But like the next three questions after that are also who would win. So it's kind of grating. But they had some interesting, like they were asked something like what's like the dumbest like overpowered character they've seen, and they're like, yeah, Paw Patrol goes crazy. Like the fireman from Paw Patrol apparently can like completely thaw people from frozen and in less than a second, but also keep their ice cream cold at the same time that they're holding. So crazy thermodynamics. But they also showed a teaser for the next death battle, which is cool. But it was a cool panel. After that, we went home because it was kind of late. And it was an hour drive, so we were like, we gotta get out of here, especially if we want to eat something. So we head home, we set everything up for the next day. Open up, you know, the things we bought that day. And then Saturday comes around and it's like... Saturday we took like 3 cars, which is insane. Because two of my roommates were like, we gotta go see Suzy Young at 11 a.m. And we're like, bro, I'm gonna be real with you. Especially if we're staying until like 9 p.m. I am not waking up to go at 11 a.m. again. And so half of the roommates left at like 9 in the morning to go see Suzy Young, which is cool. They said it was fun. And then the rest of us were like, hey, you guys want to get lunch at like noon? And then head down. But we did. We got like Chipotle and then went to then drove down. I put on really good Captain Magma cosplay. Because we had all four superheroes. We had the Quickster, Captain Magma, the Elastic Waistband, that's his name, and Misappear. So we had all four. Why? Okay, it's not frozen anymore, and now it's frozen again. But it was good. We head down. We get a few like point soy jack like that's Captain Magma, and then the you know love your costume, which is always nice. I always try to compliment cosplays I see. Just be like, oh, I love your costume, it's great. We get a few nice little like point and laughs. Apparently there were a couple other SpongeBobs that I completely missed somehow. There's even like a handsome Squidward, which is cool. I wish I got a picture with him. But we get there at the crack of like 2:30 and we're like, what's going on right now? They have an anime music quiz, we'll go there. And while it was a fun panel, it was also very loud. And not in like the fun loud way, but like the people behind us were just very you know. But it was his first time doing it too, like the guy doing the panel. So it was a little scuffed. It was fine. we're kind of shitters, so we were just like, Imagine Dragons, and then laughing. Or I'm gonna guess the 7 deadly sins for every anime. You know, that type of... It was really funny, because the one that they did go, the 7 deadly sins, actually turned out to be, like the sequel. But other than that, it was fine. And then immediately after that, in the same room, there was a Fallout panel. And we were like kind of excited for it. My roommate really liked it. Or was really excited for it. I was just like, I'm not doing anything else, so I'll go to the Fallout panel. But a cool thing happened. The panelists just did not show up. Just straight no-show. We drink water. They just straight no-showed. Which is kind of sad. And apparently it happened a lot this year. Like a lot of panelists just didn't show up. They even had like a whole like concert. Like someone was supposed to have a concert and she just didn't show up. So they had to put a few no-shows. But basically one of the staff members was like, one of y'all want to like take over? And so like 3 people went to the top and started just talking about their Fallout saves. And we were like, this is not what we signed up for. So we left. Which is fine. Because we had important works to do. We needed to go to Vendor's room. Because we did the Secret Santa assignments. I got my good friend, we'll call him Michael. I got my good friend Michael. And he's the type of guy to go like, no, it's up to you. You can choose good or bad. Well, it's dealer's choice. And I'm like, oh, great. And so at first I'm like, well, you're getting the worst thing I can find. Because since he lives he has to fly home, I'm like, I'm going to get something that's going to like embarrass you on the plane. Like the TSA is going to open your bag and it's going to be very embarrassing. It was my first thought. My next thought was, I'll be nice. And eventually I found him like a nice gunpla he likes. And thankfully it's one that he doesn't have. Which was what I was scared of because he's a big gunpla guy. And I'm like, oh no, if I get Michael the wrong thing, if I get him a gunpla he already has, I'm gonna look like such a loser, dude. I'm gonna look like I don't know my friend. And so hopefully it actually was one he doesn't already have, and he didn't take it home and throw it on like a pile of 3 of those. But we found one for him, which is good. Then I went around and like helped a couple other friends find things for them. Like, I hope one friend finds something for another. Because originally she was like, because my roommate got another friend and she was like, yeah, get me something bad. And then he's like, I know what I'm gonna do. He's like, you don't want that. You don't want me to get you something bad. He was like, I'm just gonna go up to a figure store and be like, do you have anyone that's suspicious? And then she was like, actually, yeah, just give me something good. So we had to scramble and find her something good. But we got it. I think everyone liked the gift they got, which is good. That was a big worry, is someone getting something they just absolutely hate and didn't ask for. If someone did get something they absolutely hate, they even left it in our living room. But they asked for a bad gift, so that's what they got. But we get everyone sorted. We're big chilling. Having a good time. Saturday's kind of a chill day. There was a cosplay contest, that was cool. There was a really good Shadowheart. I think she won the whole thing too. Sorry, to clear my throat. And then after that was an AMV contest. And the AMV contest is like the best part of the con, at least to me. Because like the cosplay contest is cool. And of course, consuming product is my favorite thing as someone who lives under capitalism. But the AMV contest is always nice because it's like, whoa, they put a lot of effort into it. But this year's was kind of mid. There was like one or two good ones. There was two different Imagine Dragons songs. And if the first one wasn't Enemy, I probably would have walked out. Because I'm not an Imagine Dragons guy, and neither is like anyone in the friend group. So it was like, if I have to hear Imagine Dragons more than like twice, and one of them at least was Enemy, which is funny. So we're sitting there pretty far back because we don't bother anyone. We're sitting there listening to fucking Enemy by Imagine Dragons doing the fucking Germa bit. But there was a really good one. There was a really good shonen one. Just like, I think it was like Long Live Shonen or something. It just was a bunch of different shonen anime like action shots. Very good. And then there was a really good like I think it was Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man had a good one. But most of them just had like weird timing issues. All in all, it was okay. Someone did take a picture with me, which was very cool. In my fucking paper mache volcano Captain Magma hat. Very awesome. Yeah. Then after AMV contest, we were like, man, we don't really want to stay till 11 p.m. to listen to do death battles again. So we're just like, let's go home and get like Cookout. We go back and we eat Cookout for like an hour. And then Sunday we didn't go because there wasn't anything super interesting. Instead, we watched the Super Bowl, which was also mid. Like, the halftime show was good. And then it was like the worst football game I've ever seen in my life. There was like 2 good plays and then everything else was just stalling out. I know. Yeah, it was a blowout. It was the football game of all time. And then I took yesterday off to just chill. Now we're back. But I can show you some of the cool things I did buy. Let me open PowerPoint. Yeah, there it is. There it is. I made a PowerPoint just so I made a PowerPoint just so they're all like consolidated. We move VTube Studio. Me in the corner. Cool. This is all the cool things I bought. A PowerPoint. I know. The flashbang is insane. There we go. I bought a Francis Drake figure, which is cool. Ignore my Ignore the wrinkly ass like pillowcase I use to like get a good background, like solid background color. But the light's good. This is yeah. I got like Francis Drake. I got Nitocris, which is cool. This one was a pain to put together because they didn't come with instructions. So it was just like you kind of had to figure it out from the picture on the box, but I eventually got it. And then this was my Secret Santa gift. Because the person that got assigned me was already at the con because they left earlier to go see Susie Young. And so they were like, what do we get Arc? And then it's like, oh wait, Saber, duh. And then they got it. This is a sword I bought. The reason it's labeled Shirasaya is because that's the type of blade it is. Or not the type of blade, the type of like mounting. So basically there's two different types of mounting. There's like normal handle with like guard and you can like actually intend it for use. And then there's Shirasaya, which means it doesn't, basically it's just meant for like storage or like presentation. Usually it's used to like pass down a blade, or if like one person makes it, they put it into Shirasaya to transfer it to someone to make the handle for it, which is very cool. But it's I think it's Damascus, which is cool. And you probably can't see the pattern very well, but it does have a slight like wave pattern, which is cool. And then this is Ichigo's Bankai from Bleach. I censored the hilt, like what's it called? Not Suba. Suba's the thing around the thing. Like the guard. I censored the guard just because it is the Manji, and I'm not trying to like get in trouble for showing something that looks very similar to a different, very negatively connotated symbol. But this one's cool. It's also super long. Like, I'm 6 foot tall. It's like 4.5 feet. It's big. And then this is the first thing I bought. We saw it as soon as we walked in. And we were like, is that fucking Gay Bolg? And we're like, oh, it is. So I picked up a Gay Bolg alternative like foam spear. It's like 6 feet long. It's not the one used by Kukulane in the anime, it's the one used by Skasaha in the game. But it's also cool. We used it anytime we raised our hands, we would just like hold it up because it goes up way higher than anyone's arm. It was also just nice to carry around. And then this one I did not buy at the con, admittedly. This one I bought on my own. But I got it like a week before the con, so I'm counting it technically. But this is an Excalibur replica, it's very cool. And I think that's the end of PowerPoint? Yes. Cool. No more PowerPoint. The light is gone. Then we can put my PowerPoint hidden there. How long have we been going? 50 minutes, not bad. We're just yapping about the convention I went to. But I think that covers everything that happened pretty well. It was fun though. Hopefully we get to go again next year. Because a lot of us are like moving away. And while there'll still be like in-state, or like even like barely one state over, people get busy. I'll probably go again next year though. We've been thinking about going to MomoCon, but we'd have to actually get a hotel room, so the sardining will have to happen. But I've basically covered everything I'm gonna do. Oh wait, no. There's one more thing. Nothing I didn't buy. Where's that? The Monster Hunter Wilds beta happened in the same weekend, and I was so mad because I thought I missed it. Because I wake up Friday morning and I'm like, There's a Monster Hunter Wilds beta? No! Why did this happen? Thankfully, it's also happening this weekend. And I ran the, like, benchmark thing. I should be able to run it. So I should be able to stream it this weekend, which will be very exciting. I'm glad I didn't miss it. It also got extended by a day, which is good. But I have basically covered everything I wanted to do. So, we're going to raid out to someone. As soon as I find someone to raid out to. Yeah, we'll send you to this person. Graphic depictions, that's fine. Start.
Put nail polish off camera because...
Oops, the chat button. I want the start raid button.
Because I don't want to mess it up.
And we're raiding out. So let me end stream. That's it for me. Bye-bye.